Are you a new MSP? Heck, you might even be an established MSP, and I can almost promise you you're overlooking probably the lowest hanging fruit to get more customers. And if you guessed we're going over, or maybe you got it from the thumbnail, Google My Business. Now, this is easily one of the most slept on tools that you can use. It's completely free, and it's kind of a set it and forget it. It will work for you for the end of time as long as you have an active business, but most people do it wrong. They don't set it up correctly. They're not exactly sure what to add. I have analyzed hundreds of Google My Businesses. I've done extensive training and I have mastered and cracked the code for you. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you tips, tricks, and what you need to do to master your Google My Business. And if you think yours is set up enough, if you don't get anything from this video, leave me a comment down below and be like, Harrison, I'm the only person that didn't get anything from the video because everyone else did. I'm just kidding on that one. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just one quick thing. And if you come over here, follow me over to my website, you'll see growth-generators.com. And all of the things that we've done recently, we did add something new that I want to tell you about. And if you hover over the resources area, you'll actually see an events area. Now, this might be virtual or this might be remote. Currently, at the time of posting this, there is an active event. It is Tech on Tap. It is February 12th, and you could come here, and all we ask you to do is register. The tickets, it says buy tickets. The tickets are completely free. I might mention it again in the future or not, but it is February 12th at 5 p.m. at Legion Brewing. You can go on there, grab a ticket. It says buy tickets. They're completely free. We just want a head count. I'm going to be sponsoring the first one of just as far as food goes, and you could come down and hang out. It will be a cash bar, but we are inviting anyone local. If you're within driving distance, what you determine as driving distance to you is totally up to you, but come hang out with us. You can go check it out, growth-generators.com/events, or I will leave a link down below directly to that page. And after that, I'd like to do this on a monthly basis. So if you're local, you want to meet me, anything like that, or just meet other professionals in your area, I would love to have you there. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, and there's some other cool things floating around on the website too, and I won't bore you with that, but of course we have the resources where you can go grab all of the freebies, the blog posts, the free Discord. You can now get to the YouTube channel and even Apple and Spotify podcasts. And if you're a longtime listener or a new listener and you enjoy them, I would appreciate a 5-star review. Let's talk about Google My Business. Now, if you go to Google My Business profile, you will see that here. Now, the Google My Business profile is basically your social media profile for Google. It's really it. But Google is the largest search engine in the world. And when it's set up correctly, you could rank pretty high over your competitors versus everybody else. Unfortunately, it just is that way, and that's totally fine. That is okay to be that way. But by you setting this up, you're basically telling Google, hey, Google, I exist, and if somebody's searching for my services, I would like to be in the running. Now, here's the biggest golden nugget. And for the longtime listeners, I always put the golden nuggets all the way at the end. And if you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, notify, and hey, if you learned something, please leave it down in the comments down below. But here's the biggest golden nugget. One, most MSPs do not set up their Google My Business correctly, thus giving you a tremendous advantage because you're actually watching this video. Number two, the Google My Business has a statistical significantly higher likelihood to show up not only in Google search, but Google Maps as well. And most people don't realize that. You're getting twice the amount of search volume just by setting this up correctly. Now, if you're a new YouTuber, if you're a new Googler, right, we're going to come over here to my screen and you could just type in Google My Business profile. Now it'll say get listed on Google and you can click that. And I've managed a handful of them over the years and I've helped other friends with them. But if you click sign in or manage now, in this case, you're going to manage now and it's going to produce a long list of those. Now, if you don't have any, which you probably don't, you could hit sign in and it should bring you to a new page. And that new page should look something like this where it'll say, hey, find and manage your business. Now, you could also add your business to Google. Now, this is what I would consider the basics, and I'm going to get into some more advanced stuff as well. But you could add your business to Google. In this case, you're going to type in your business name and the business category. So this could be growth generators, right? We'll just do growth generators here. And then, so now it's already showing me, right, that I managed that. But if I didn't, I would go through and I'll just create a testing new growth, right? We'll just create it, testing new growth, an internet marketing service. You can name it a variety of different ones. Obviously, you want to put one in that best relates what you do as an MSP. So you could do like computer help, right, or computer consultant, something of that nature. They're not going to have a managed service provider. They just don't. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but pick something as close as you can. Now, you can always change this down the road, or at least at the time of recording this, you can change this down the road. But in this case, right, we'll just do computer repair service or computer consultant, right? That's fine for now. And then you're going to hit next, right? We didn't understand your category. You have to find something that they want. Computer, let's see here. Computer consultant, right? And growth generators testing, spelt completely incorrectly, but that's okay. And now you're going to hit next, right? Do you want to add a location customers can visit? Now, if you're working from home and you don't want people to visit your location, right, you could hit no. And it's going to ask you for a service area. If you hit yes, it's going to ask you to verify your location. Now, in many cases, I will take my Amex thing here, but in many cases, if you hit yes, usually within 5 to 10 days, you'll get a piece of mail with your name on it, your business, right? And it'll say, right, it's from Google. I promise you, it's not spam. When you open that up, there is usually going to be a QR code, and sometimes it's usually, I think, a 6-digit code on that actual piece of paper. Now, Google won't verify your location until you get that piece of mail and you open it and you put that code in. That's how they verify it. This is for them to stop you from saying you own an office at every location in the planet. And this is also helping verify that, hey, you are where you say you are. Even if you're not there all the time, at least you have access to be able to show up there. It's really, really important. Now, I have seen things where if you change it, they make you do some crazy stuff. They might ask you to take your camera out and go video outside, usually within 2 minutes. You have to leave your house, leave your building, whatever it is, and prove that you are where you say you are. I have heard horror stories. I apologize to those people. But if you go in here and you say, hey, we do service area, if you don't want people to visit, right, you could just hit no. And you're going to hit next, right? Where do you serve, right, your customers? Now, this could be your local area. So you guys probably already know that I'm over in Charlotte. So I could just say Charlotte, US, right? And you might want to put in some other areas local to you. If there's a big area nearby, you could put that in as well. For the sake of this, I'm just going to put in Charlotte, right? Now, if I continue any further, it's going to obviously red flag saying, hey, I already have an account here. But what contact details do you want to show customers? Now, if you don't have a phone number already, one of my favorite things to do is go to Google Voice. And you could type in Google Voice, right? Google Voice. And it's usually going to say sign up for a new Google Voice account, in which case I already have one, right? So it's the same one on the website, 631-823-1521. Please don't blow up my phones. But you could go through and you could call that person, right? In that case, you would sign up. You can get a free Google Voice number. You have to say it's for personal use. At some point down the road, you can upgrade to business, but you're just starting off. You just don't want to put your cell phone number plastered all over the internet, and that makes total sense. So if we go back to your Google My Business listing, obviously you want to punch in your website there, and it asks you just a handful of questions. Now, at some point or another, you're going to get to what looks like it should be your Google listing, right? In this case, this is my Google listing. So I don't live here anymore. I still technically do have access to that office, and my buddy stays there. So if somebody wants to mail me something, you can mail it there or send me a message and I'll give you my personal address. But you could go through and you can see a ton of information throughout this area. And this information is really, really important because now, right, profile strength. I'm not even at 100% when I was a while back, and it's important to check on these things. Now, you could see here, it'll usually ask you for a bunch of this stuff, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, right? We want to make sure that we edit our profile. In this case, I have to rework this, and I'm going to be re recording all of this for my MSP Heroes community and going so much deeper. If you'd like to check that out, it is available at growth-generators.com under our programs MSP Heroes. So I'm not going to edit and modify this all currently, but you could go through here. You could see all of these options, right? This was a phone number I had for a very short period of time. I can go back and get rid of that phone number. I believe it still forwards over, right? This is way back when I first set this up, knowing, and I haven't updated it since because I knew that I was going to make this. But you have an about, a contact area, your location if you service a certain area, in which case I still have access to that office, the hours that you're available, and then some more areas. Obviously, pick what's best for you and not go crazy with it, right? And then we want to look at some of the other areas that are important. We could add photos. Now, this is truly some secret sauce. If you add good pictures and you treat this mildly like social media, where you go out, you post on a regular basis to your Google My Business account, you will actually start to show up more because Google goes, hey, they're giving us attention. Maybe they're giving us more attention and updating their profile more than everybody else is. This is good. They're showcasing what they do, how they do it. Yes, it could be a headshot of you, but trust me, I'm sure you're like everybody else in tech where you have piles of cables laying around. You're in a server network closet at some point or network closet at some point. You might even be out with friends when you're doing business, networking. These are all great things to post. As long as they're consistently updating and do relate to what you do, it's a huge, huge gold mine. The other thing that you can do on here is add, right? Add an update, ask for reviews, edit products, advertise. You could see your performance over time, photos, all of that, right? Get your first reviews. These are the hardest things to get as an MSP. But if you click this, you get a special link, right? This is your review link, and you could share this out to really anybody and ask for a review. It's quite easy. You can simply copy this, and when you paste it over to a new page, you'll actually see, hey, look, perfect. Here it is. It pops up. How would you like to rate it, right? I had to change this for podcasting stuff back in the day here. But you could see, right? 1 through 5, you could share your details and experiences and any photos that you want to add. And it even pops up the location. Now, here's the most interesting part about this. And this is why, if you were watching, I had Go High Level up. One of the coolest things that Go High Level does is you could set up an automation that says, hey, after you close out a contract, 30, 60, 90 days later, your customer can get an email or a text message with that link, and boom, they could click on that link and be brought to an area where they could leave your amazing MSP with a review. Automate it. Make it as simple as possible. Now, if you're not using Go High Level, you can build this out in HubSpot, Pipedrive, or whatever other platform you'd like. Maybe even set yourself a reminder. But that little link is super important. Something that I just heard one of my MSP heroes do. He has a QR code he puts on the back of his phone. When he's out at clients, he actually asks the employees, hey, can you leave a review? And lets them scan the QR code on the back of his phone. It's huge, and he's racking up reviews. And guess what happens? Google goes, oh, you know what? You're paying special attention to us. We're actually going to show you higher and higher and higher versus everybody else out there, giving you more chances to be seen just on your Google My Business. So if I say, right, IT companies, let's go over here, IT companies in Charlotte, you could see 43, 34, 7, all of these reviews. And that while it doesn't go in direct order, it will help increase because look, almost everybody on here has reviews. Some a few, some many, but guess what we don't see? Companies without reviews. And that's really the key. And if I go to Charlotte IT Solutions and I look at their Google My Business, once again, they're doing the right things. They're asking for reviews, they're getting them. They have pictures of what they're doing, right? Including somebody working on hardware, which is fantastic. That you could see their overview, their reviews, any good, useful information about their business. And that's the beauty of how to make this work, because the center of the city is over here and they are outside of they're technically outside of the center of the city, but they're still showing up. And it doesn't say anywhere on here that it's an ad, meaning Google is voluntarily giving them more traffic than the competition. Just this alone can help you secure new customers, can help your dream customers find you, and ultimately build your credibility. So if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it, or podcast if you're listening to the podcast. I would appreciate a like button, a subscribe button, notification bell. If you're listening to the podcast, maybe 5 stars once you're safely parked if you're in the car driving. All right. I love the heck out of you guys. Sorry I took off the last week. I've had a ton of things going on here. But if you want to go even deeper in this, you should check out the MSP Heroes program. I will leave a link down below for that. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.